Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. It is that time of the month again to choose our monthly TBR. So we are going to be choosing our November TBR today, which is the second last TBR of 2025. This year has gone by so quickly, but let's get into it. I feel like in this next month, I don't really know what I want to read this next month in terms of like genre, whatever. I feel like I'm quite open, which is different compared to the last few months. I feel like in June, I was really like, I want to read literary fictions. And then in July, I was like still in that mood. And then in August and September, I was like, let's go full force fantasy. I am now in November just like open to anything, which is a fun mood to be in. The only book I know for sure that I want to choose and read in November is The Strength of the Few by James Islington, because that book is coming out, I think November 7th or something, somewhere near the beginning of this next month, and I definitely have it pre-ordered. I'm ready. Definitely need to read that one as soon as it comes out. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not too fussed. I don't know. We'll just let the jar pick for us. So we're gonna pick 5 prompts for 5 books as usual. Let's see what we get. Okay, we have to start with pink, of course. Ooh, okay. 5-word title. It actually looks like an S because I have horrendous writing, especially when I'm writing quickly. It looks like S-word title, but it's actually 5-word title. So anything that has 5 words in it. The Strength of the Few. Come on. That was too easy. Thank you, jar. No, I don't have it in physical yet, so I can't show you, but this was going to be a book that I was 100% gonna read in November anyways, so the fact that we're just choosing it now, great. Love it. First one done. That was so quick. This is gonna be like a 5-minute video at the rate we're going at. And I didn't even pull any physical books for that prompt because it just jumped out at me. But okay, we'll make this next one a little bit more actually like fun to watch. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this one's a little vague. It could be a little difficult for me to choose one based on this very general prompt while I'm in this mood of like, I'll just read anything. It just says real world. So anything that is set in the real world, probably not a high fantasy, I would say, but I think something even like magical realism would still count in this, or even a fantasy that is set in the real world. Oh, I've actually been curious about this one, The Academy by Elin Hilderbrand and Shelby Cunningham. Shelby Cunningham is actually Elin Hilderbrand's daughter, and they co-wrote this book together, which I think is just the most adorable thing ever. But this one is set at an academy. Okay, we have secrets and rumors. We have an elite New England boarding school, and we follow, I think, students and faculty at Tiffin Academy from move-in day through the year maybe, as all of this scandalous stuff comes out. I've been really curious about this one because I do enjoy Elin Hilderbrand books for the most part, and I just want to see how her daughter's voice has also come into this book as they've collaborated together. It's also a book that is not set in Nantucket, so I'm just also curious to see how that feels because I just relate Elin Hilderbrand to Nantucket. So this one's definitely intriguing. I feel like the cart's really filled with fantasies right now. Oh, you know what? I've been wanting to read this one as well, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is a historical fiction. We follow 2 twins who grew up in a Black community. They both left, and I think one came back and then the other one lived in a primarily white community. And so we see how that has affected both of them and how they've grown up and how different they've like experienced life. I've heard really, really wonderful things about this book actually. So I feel like this would be a wonderful real world read as well. I think these are the 2 that are jumping out at me right now. This is a hard decision. I'm so unsure. I feel like this one's just more seasonal. I actually wanted to read it in September because we had like back to school vibes in September, but I feel like this is such a fall read, and the fall is always so short that I feel like I need to read this one in the fall. Like literally the trees on this cover are fall trees. Like they're turning red. We have all those red crispy crunchy leaves. I feel like we need to read this one sooner rather than later. So we could probably save this one for winter, like closer to December. Maybe we'll do The Academy for November. I think, yeah. We'll do that. But I definitely really do want to read The Vanishing Half. It sounds absolutely amazing. Okay, let's do our 3rd book though. We've got a green. Oh, That's funny. So we picked up a green prompt and it actually says green cover. So we're going full on green theme right now. All right, a green book. Green, green, green. I'm not seeing too much green, if I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Is this green? Not really. Kind of. It's like kind of an olive muddy green, like more brown green. The back cover is definitely a little bit more green, but it's not like, I was looking for like a bright, vibrant green, but I'm not seeing any of that. This one, yeah, is more of like a planty green and it looks quite brown, especially on camera, but I think like it's definitely green. It's like vines and leaves and stuff. If you actually look at what is on the cover, what it's supposed to be, like it's quite leafy. So it's kind of like a brown, muddy green, but this is Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. I've been really intrigued at this one. I think this is the same author who wrote, oh my gosh, there's a book that I keep hearing about and I can't think of the title right now, but it's also by C.G. Drews. Everyone's loved that book from what I'm hearing about it, but this one looks like such a spooky, spooky read. But we follow Evander who's been taken in by this really rich but reclusive billionaire, and he lives in this big mansion estate, but he's always lived by a few rules that this old man has always given him. So he can never leave the estate, he can never go into the gardens, and most importantly, he can never again be left alone with Byron's charming, underachieving grandson, Laurie. So this rule was put in place ever since Laurie tried to kill Evander 7 years ago when they were kids, but Evander is still somehow obsessed with him. So we follow this like spooky, eerie story that's set in this big, spooky house, and it sounds so good. I actually do really want to choose this one. I feel like this is going to be such a good read, but let's see if there's anything else green. That is most certainly blue. What is this? This is not green at all. I feel like I have so much blue. Is this green? I mean, there's like half of this is green and half of this is very orange. Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. I don't know, I feel like Hazelthorn is more green than this. Even though that's a brighter green, there's less of it. Oh, this is so green. This is so green. A Reaper at the Gates by Saba Tahir. But this I think is book 4 in the series, and I have still to read book 2, so I definitely can't get to this one yet, because yeah, I've read An Ember in the Ashes, and then next is A Torch Against the Night, which is up here, and then A Sky Beyond the Storm, which I have somewhere on here. Oh yeah, it's buried behind here. And then it's A Reaper at the Gate. So I can't get to this one yet, but this book is so green. This would have perfectly fit this prompt. But no, we cannot do that yet. I honestly think this is my greenest book. And it's really not green. I feel like all of you guys are gonna watch this video and be like, Jamie, that book is not green. I agree. It's not very green. It's very muddy, but it's the closest we're gonna get. So I'm gonna pick Hazelthorn for my green book. Is that 3 already? Oh my gosh, we're flying through. I feel like from that first prompt, we really just set the precedence of how quickly we were gonna choose the TBR today. We have another green one. Ooh, this is a good prompt. Okay, a book you think will be 5 stars. I love this prompt. I actually have not chosen this prompt ever since I made this jar, like at the beginning of this year. Never gotten that prompt. I didn't even know that prompt existed in this jar, but I absolutely love that for us. I love that for myself. A book I think will be 5 stars. Okay, The Raven Scholar immediately is jumping out at me by Antonia Hodgson. I've heard wonderful things about this book, such wonderful things. I think everyone I know who has read this has absolutely loved it. It is a fantasy, and we have an academy setting, I'm pretty sure, that is split up into different houses that are all represented by animals. So we have the Raven House, the Fox House, I think there's like a Bear House, and every house has like a different style or form of magic. And about the story itself, we follow Nima, the Emperor's brilliant, idiosyncratic high scholar, and she has to find someone who killed one of the 7 exceptional warriors in this world and fight for the throne. Ooh, I love this. Wait, is it not an academy setting? Did I make that up? I feel like I've heard so much about this book, and Freya always talks about this book, but why did I think, where did I get the academy setting from? Maybe it was just the houses that made me think of academy setting. Is there an academy setting in this book? I can't remember. But yeah, I have heard wonderful things. This book is a hefty one. It is about 650 pages, so it's a long one, but I'm really intrigued. I also think Red City by Marie Lu is likely to be a 5-star from me. I have never read this author before, but just from the premise and also the little bit that I've heard from it, I feel like this sounds like it's going to be so, so wonderful. We have an urban fantasy world, we have an alchemy magic system, and we follow 2 rival clans. And I think there's some sort of like a drug substance called sand that enhances your powers. Honestly, the setup sounds very similar to Jade City, which obviously is a good thing for me. I absolutely love that. But then we throw in this sort of Romeo and Juliet vibe, I think, because we follow 2 childhood friends who now belong to the 2 rival syndicates. And as tension builds up between these 2 rival clans, these 2 kids who are now grown up, but on opposite sides, kind of like, I don't know, mix things up. And the tagline for this is, when you win the game of power, who do you lose? This sounds so good. This sounds so good. Okay, so that's definitely a 5-star prediction as well. And I actually think Blood Trader by Lynette Noni is likely to be at least close to a 5-star, because this is the 3rd book in the Prison Healer trilogy, and I have loved this trilogy as I've been going through it. The first book I think I gave a 3.75. The second book I gave a 4.25, I think. So it's building, you know, it's on its way to becoming a 5-star, and so I have high hopes for this conclusion. So that could be an option too. So we have the Blood Trader, Red City, or the Raven Scholar. Oh my god, I can't choose between these 3. Why is this so difficult right now? Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm going to, I'll put the Blood Trader back. I really want to read this, but I mean, thus far, the books have not actually been a 5-star. They're just inching closer. So it's either going to be the Raven Scholar or Red City. Oh my gosh. Help me pick. I am feeling so indecisive right now. Do I pick both of them? No, I can't do that. I have to pick one. Okay, you know what? Let's read the first sentence from each book. That's our new method, okay? Oh my god. What? Okay. Whoa. I just opened this book and immediately I see alchemy symbols, which is so cool. And I also see most powerful alchemy syndicates in the world and alchemy studies. And there are all these little symbols for everything. Oh my gosh. There's a fox. There's a griffin. There is a horse, or is that a unicorn? No, there's no horn. There's a horse. There's a fox. There's like a squid, a dragon, a rooster dragon hybrid. Look at those animals. This looks so cool. Okay, what's the first line? As a child, Sam can see beauty in everything. Why did that just hit so hard right now? Okay, I'm really excited about that. There are also foxes in this one too though. So they both get fox points. This one, ooh, has a pretty cool map. And the first line is, once they made sacrifices here to appease the 8. Those are both so good. That did not help me at all. Wait, we need help. Okay, we're enlisting Huffy for help because I'm so indecisive and I can't choose. And all the cats have joined too. Okay, so the prompt is 5-star prediction, and I think these are both going to be 5-star predictions, but based on vibes, which one?
The purple one.
You always pick the longest one. Okay. But this one looks so good too. Bye. I probably should have known he was going to pick the large book, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read this one. So, The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. That is our 4th book. All right, let's see what we have for our, oh my gosh, this is our last one. My hand's a little stuck, one sec. Okay, pink. Oh, a title with a color in it. Could we pick Red City? Hold on. Could we pick Red City? Red? That's a color. I feel like that was kind of meant to be. And we just took so long debating between those two, and the fact that I could just have it all. But okay, well, let's see what else has a color. Is silver considered a color? Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen. This is a fantasy with magic wands, and I was just sold on that premise alone because I have not read a fantasy using magic wands and spells, like different spells for everything, in so long, and that just makes me feel so excited and nostalgic, and like I used to read so many books with magic wands, and I don't know why they're not really popular for adult books because I don't see it very often. But yeah, this is by L.K. Stephen, who's also actually Laura Stephen, who wrote Our Infinite Fates. What is this one about again? This also, oh my gosh, has a gorgeous map in color. It does have solid sprayed edges though, which I don't love, but at least they separated these ones. Like these ones don't feel crunchy and stuck together. So this is an addictive new fantasy series set in a world where magic is fueled by pleasure and pain. An obsessive detective infiltrates a brutal gang of dark mages, knowing that one wrong move will get her killed. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. What is with my TBR just being a powerhouse right now, like stacked with such exciting reads. Okay, so Silver Cloak, definitely an option. Oh, this book actually has the word color in it. It's called The Astonishing Color of After, but it doesn't have the actual color in it. It just has the literal word color in it, so I don't know if that counts. It's between these two, Red City or Silver Cloak. Definitely excited for both of these. These both sound so, so wonderful, but I think I've just like hyped myself so much for Red City in the last prompt that like I have to choose this one. I have to choose this one. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, like Romeo and Juliet meets Jade City. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be Red City by Marie Lu. And that is, just confirming, yeah, that is 5. And the stack looks like 4, but it's actually 5 because the Strength of the Few is on top of here. This looks incredible. This looks like such a good reading month. Just to do a quick recap, on the top, imagine we have The Strength of the Few by James Islington, the second book to the Will of the Many. That is our 5-word title. For our book with a color in the title, we have Red City by Marie Lu, which is Jade City with a forbidden love twist, I'm pretty sure. For our 5-star prediction, we have The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson, a high fantasy that I, am clearly very unsure of what the plot actually is, but once I read it, I will know, and I'm very excited about this one. It's been very, very hyped to me. We have Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews for our green cover that is not that green. A moody, gothic, atmospheric read, a queer fantasy. And then we have The Academy by Shelby Cunningham, our real world book, which is actually, now looking at the rest of the TBR, this is the only real world book on the TBR, so it's kind of, I think it's probably good that we got that real world prompt for this round, so we can have a book that just like grounds us back in reality after, diving into world after world after world. We need our like return to earth with this one. So I think this looks like an absolutely amazing TBR. November is going to be such a good reading month. I am so excited. But that being said, that brings us to the end of this TBR video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what is on your November TBR. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!